Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Shooting. I am Tonya Rogers, here with the birthday boy, Andrew M. Swift. Yay!
Yay.
Oh,
Yeah,
how did you? How was your big day? How was your day today?
it's fine. I don't know. At this point, like, I got a text from a friend of mine from all the way back from like kindergarten, and the text was, "It's your birthday, right?" Question mark. And I was like, "Yeah, that's basically the appropriate way to wish a 30-second birthday to somebody. You know, like it's your birthday, right? Like, yep, okay, cool." And that was it. Like, like,
Yeah,
it feels 32. That seems appropriate.
yeah. If you get you a little like buzz going and have a pretty okay day, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the birthday.
I've had a couple of glasses of wine, so I could say some interesting things. We don't. It's all on
Who
the table.
knows?
All on
Who
the table now.
who freaking knows? Okay, so Monday we did our little
Mm-hmm.
just like going over the biggest, most important, most entertaining things at WrestleMania. Cause I mean it was a lot
There's a
of
lot. Yeah.
shows. Yeah, it was a lot of shows. So we just like, okay, let's just talk about the big stuff and stuff that we liked. And we both enjoyed it so much. So this week I'm gonna break from tradition from calling people to the front of the class. Usually when I bring them up, it's to you ever had like a teacher pop your knuckles with a ruler or something, you did something wrong. This is what this is. Like, don't do that again. Shame on you. Do better. That's usually what this is, but right now we're gonna call Vincent Kennedy McMahon to the
Oh
front of
boy.
the classroom.
Oh
Yes,
boy.
yes we are. We're gonna call him up. Um, and I gotta start. Vincent, I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, WrestleMania 32 sucked donkey balls. I was really questioning why the fuck I was watching your product after that one. And a year later, I am thoroughly entertained and excited for the future. So and that's a quick turnaround. Like a wrestling company, for you to be like, feel like that for 1 year and then just turn it around and be excited about possibilities the next. Like, we may consume a lot of wrestling, but that's kind of hard to do in a year. So I'm going to give it to you, Vince. But also, with this praise, I'm going to have to smack you on the knuckles a little bit. You let your pet project, Roman Reigns, defeat The Undertaker. Now, before last Sunday, I kind of felt like at any moment you could just say, you know what? This hasn't been working. It's not going the way. We're just going to pull him out, deep push him, and let's try to see if somebody else goes in that spot. That's over with. That's mute. Like, if there's anybody listening to this that thinks possibly Vince McMahon's going to deep push him, or that does a disservice to The Undertaker. So now you kind of want to hope that this motherfucker's successful, because he's taken one brand in The Undertaker and decided that the way this brand ends is going to benefit this other brand that I'm trying to push. So you kind of want this motherfucker to be successful. So do me a solid, Vince. Turn him heel. I know you're sick and tired of hearing it, but fuck, it's the truth. Turn him heel, goddamn. I just don't like anybody who can see. This is my problem. When people say, well, if you turn him heel, they're going to start cheering him. Isn't that the desired goal? Don't you want him to be cheered? What the fuck am I missing here? Okay, see, this is what I think I'm missing. When Vince, I know when you hear turn him heel, that does not mean have him be a chicken shit. Have him be a bitch. Have him run from matches. Have him cheat all the time. Have him make little kids cry. That's what you hear.
Have him be a pawn for Triple H.
Oh yes, make his entire heel career really just be an extension of Triple H's heel career. No. That is not what we are saying. Well, basically, what people are asking for, honestly, seriously, is for Roman to be just as much of a shithead to fans as they are to him. Now, I know some people are like, that's not. Yes, you are. Because there's a lot of people, when he came out there in the opening segment and did his thing, a lot of people are like, oh, I love it. It was glorious. So that, in my opinion, when people say, Vince, listen, pay attention, turn Roman Reigns heel, I mean, now a lot of it is like people are obsessed with his aesthetic. They want him to get out of the Shield gear. Keep him in that. At this point, I don't even give a fuck if you change his music. What you need to do is have him be just as much of a shithead to the fans, not all of the fans, but the fans who are being shitheads to him. That's it. That's all you need to do. That is all. Oh, and also stop booking him against fucking heels. If you could do that, like me and you, we will be great. You will not stop getting my money for a long time. And I already own every Roman Reigns shirt and one jacket, and I'm waiting patiently for you to put out some more merchandise. So, where's his fucking shirt?
Get on that shit. Yeah.
ASAP. Like, WrestleMania is already over with. What the fuck are you waiting on? Okay. Yeah,
just have like a shirt that says "My Yard" on the front, and then just have like the little Roman Reigns symbol on the top of the back.
Exactly, yeah. That's it.
Boom, that's lit right there, right? Damn, I'd buy that.
My other suggestion, because Lord Bond in the Daily, he did a mock-up on the shirt, and this is all that's on the shirt: a tombstone. Somewhere there's Roman Reigns symbol on it. And the tombstone reads, The Undertaker, and April 2nd, 2017. And that is it. That's it. Nothing on the back, goddammit. Nothing. But, yeah, I gotta give credit where it's due. They take the shit out of Vince, but I couldn't do his job. I definitely couldn't. I do not know better than him. So, kudos for a great however many days. It was a lot of wrestling, but I left satisfied. At the end of SmackDown last night, I was like, there's a lot of things you can complain about, and we're about to get on those things. Mm-hmm. But overall, very satisfied, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, I have to say, coming out of it. And I wrote 3 straight recaps, so I would know,
Right? Yeah. If anybody should be irritable and pissed off with WWE, it should be you. You've had to
stay up until 1:30 in the morning for 3 straight nights, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's get into. I know I kind of know how you feel, but what did you feel about that opening?
The Reigns thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that was great. I loved the hell out of it. I as a standalone segment, it was damn near perfect. And especially 4 or 5 minutes in when I realized what was happening, because he wasn't even really making an effort to talk, he would raise the mic to his mouth halfway, and then they'd boo. They'd boo, and he would just be like, whatever. He wouldn't try to fight it or whatever. He's just like, yeah, okay, That's fine, you know. And I feel like he said that in his tweet where he's like, I could have been out there for another 15 minutes, you know. And he's like, the hashtag the guy or whatever.
Actually, he could. I think they would have kept that shit going. I think they would have kept going an hour. Those people were they. Oh,
which is the dumbest thing ever. Like, I did not understand the vitriol whatsoever. But again, this is me not caring at all about the Undertakers, of course. So, you know, when like I was there, I was just like, this is a hoot. I'm here for it. And then like everyone's boo, and I was just like, why? Like, why are you so much more mad tonight? Like, did you watch the match the night prior? Did you see how shitty Undertaker looked? You should be like cheering this guy for not actually seriously injuring this.
Thank you, Roman.
You're right, for not fucking accidentally killing this 52-year-old geriatric bad hip motherfucker, you know?
Because you know who almost did kill him? Brock Lesnar. The guy they treated like a fucking guy. And you know who else almost killed him? Triple H. Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame Punk because both Undertaker and Punk were both like physically fucked up after their matches.
After theirs,
they both were, yeah. So I'm not gonna, and you know, recently I very recently I've gotten so pro CM Punk. It's ridiculous. I just haven't said it out loud. Like a lot of shit. I'm like, this man is absolutely fucking right. People just aren't listening to him. Yeah. Okay, let's run down the list of what I heard these fucktards say to my emperor. Roman sucks, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up before he even uttered a single word.
Yep.
Fuck you, Roman. Which, okay, listen.
That went on for a long time, yeah.
Anybody who knows me, like, or listens to this show, I curse a lot. I curse like a sailor. I have 3 kids. They hear me curse all the time. So the people that were like, I guess it's just how you're raised. Like, the people like, you're cursing in front of children. That would have been, like, the last thing that upset me. Like, I didn't have my kids watch because I knew it wasn't because of what the crowd was going to say to Roman. It's just because Smartmania crowds are so distracting.
Yeah.
My kids hardly ever pay attention to the crowd, but like Smartmania, they would, and I just don't really want my kids to see that happening to anybody, whoever it is.
Right.
So you know, I was just like, they watch SmackDown, they did not watch Raw. They were like, fuck you, Roman, you suck. There were others mixed in there that I don't think I quite understood, but yeah. Which like, I would believe you, people in the audience. I would believe that, like, boy, they really seriously don't like this guy, and this is so serious. They need to stop pushing Roman. I don't care if they do. I would believe that had not, like, less than 30 minutes after that, the very person responsible for Roman Reigns being in his position, what did these motherfuckers do?
Massively cheered him. Didn't they bow down to him and shit?
They massively cheered him. They bowed toward him. They sung his fucking praises. And for all those people like, well, they did say Roman sucks. Yeah, for about 6 seconds. And then after he dismissed them, we're like, well, if that's the way you feel.
That was such a good response, too. Vince was just like, well, that's how you feel. And then he just kept going. He's like, fucking dumbass marks. Like, that's what he was thinking. It was great. Kind of amazing.
Vince was standing there like, you don't even know what the fuck you want.
Right? Yeah.
And the whole, like, okay. So, later on in the show, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out, and they call out Roman Reigns. And people are chanting, we want Finn. And there are some people that are under this impression that Finn Balor is going to get so over that I don't know that Vince is going to change his mind and stop pushing Roman. Let me tell you right now, Finn Balor is not nearly good enough. Did you see the heat that Roman had? Finn Balor is not nearly as good enough to do anything to get Vince to stop. The only person in that company right now that I see that's good enough to get Vince to stop pushing Roman is AJ Styles. And it's not gonna happen because AJ Styles would even take the push at this point in his career. AJ Styles he's super fucking humble and he's making a lot of money and he's just glad to be putting his part in. He's like I don't. He's like, fuck, I got 4 kids. I don't want that spot. I will have no time for my family.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so he's the only person in that company that's good enough to get the fans much attention. Because it's not even about cheers or boos. It's about who the fans are paying the most attention to. And somebody was like, if you took Curtis Axel and gave him Roman Reigns booking, he would have the same heat. No, he wouldn't, because he would not have been able to wrestle in all those main event caliber matches. You know how fucking hard it is to wrestle like 250 plus main event fucking WWE style matches year round? No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have been able to. It's just ridiculous to see that, to see how the amount of anger that's supposed to be there, and then the very man who's responsible. And these people, like some people saying, well, they never get to see Vince. Okay, so boo the shit out of him. But no, ignore all that. And, he's gonna bring back another Attitude Era guy, which, like, these Attitude Era guys, I don't know if people realize this, they are way bigger problems than Roman Reigns will ever be in this company right now. Mm-hmm. Because Roman Reigns is in the top guy spot. That's his spot. It's his. I'm sorry, he retired the Undertaker. That's his fucking spot. There's nothing anyone else can do about it. But you know, other guys that work talented, they could have the spots that are reserved for Brock and for even Kurt Angle. They can get more TV time and get over in other ways. But the only other good spots in the company seem to go to part-timers. And it's way more part-timers taking those spots. There's a lot of part-timers. There's only one Roman Reigns, but it's going to, like, okay, we can talk about the superstar shakeup because, like, I was going to talk about more WrestleMania matches, but, like, the only ones that are left, like, really were bad. Or, like, yeah, you know, not really much to talk about. So Vince does come out after the crowd gets finished licking the crack of his ass. He tells everyone that there's going to be a superstar shakeup. And basically, we don't know what the fuck that means.
We still don't. We still have zero information.
Right. We don't. The only thing is that some people who are on SmackDown Live are going to Raw, and some people on Raw are going to SmackDown Live. We don't know if it's trades or drafts. Do they have to Rochambeau for it? Roll dice, play hopscotch? We have absolutely no idea, like, the particulars. We just know, like, at the end of Monday Night Raw, I guess. Hey, man, they didn't even specify that. Apparently, there is going to be some mixing up of the roster. Now, this has been bantered about endlessly by the Daily Crew. So, give me your who do you think they're going to trade?
Well, I think the definite swap is the two female blondes, Charlotte and Alexa. I think those two are definitely switching brands. I don't think there's any doubt at all about those two whatsoever. In terms of guys, it's a lot like harder to figure out. Like tag teams, boy, I tell you, like even the SmackDown tag team division did not get a single second of time again last night. And honestly, like I didn't care. I didn't mind. I didn't miss it whatsoever, you know? So if they like did a switch of like New Day and Alpha, that would make sense because New Day can interact with like pretty much everyone on the roster because they're, you know, guys who are just out there, and, you know, maybe we'll get like a Big E singles push out of it while he's still in the group. And Alpha are clearly not working on SmackDown, and being opposite the Revival could definitely help them in a big way. But in terms of like male faces, like singles guys, I tell you, it's totally up in the air. And like we were talking today, we were going back and forth, and you were saying it's like SmackDown is either going to get Roman or Seth, and I was just like, no, I don't want either of them. Like, no, like if you could tell me that I would get, if we would, I love how I refer to SmackDown as we. If we would get Roman without like the baggage, all the annoying shithead fans that would come with him, then yeah, I'd be so on board, especially if you turn him heel. But it would just, I feel like his presence on the show would just damage the character of SmackDown Live, and that is more important than having a really good, you know, heel, or adding a really good heel to the show. And Seth, I don't think, has the character chops to carry, like, to be on a weekly show that makes you go, you know, every week build.
Hold on, Andrew, come on. You're telling me that you are not just absolutely enthralled by Seth Rollins' master thespian.
All right. I take it back. If he's cutting promos in empty arenas every week, I'd be on board for it. If they did like some weird delusional thing where he like actually legitimately cut promos in empty arenas every week, that would start, by week 3, that would start popping me. I guarantee you. Like by week 3, I'd be like, all right, I'm in for this. I'm in for this ridiculous gimmick, you know? But yeah, he's not a guy who like you can organically grow. I mean, he's already like at the top, like the land of opportunity. Like what opportunities has Seth Rollins not had?
To be on top of SmackDown.
Yeah, that's not what the land of opportunity means.
To be on top without Roman in the background.
Without Roman there. Well, Roman was the only reason he was over as a face initially when he came back as a heel, because he wasn't Roman.
His entire, most of his success post Shield is not Roman.
Being the anti-Roman, yeah, exactly.
And Dean a little bit too.
Dean a little bit too, yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah.
No, like there needs to be, which is why I was saying to you, I was like, can we just get like a volume trade? Like, I'm really worried that Raw is still gonna like fuck SmackDown over and take AJ somehow, which seems so shitty at this point. Like, and would confirm your theory that they're actually trying to build Raw as like, and trying to extend Raw as a heel brand.
Yeah.
Like, especially because like they were like literally like AJ's like came out, was like, I want to stay on SmackDown.
And that's the face
shake my hand, and then I'll do like a, you know, cute little fake punch, and then nod, do my pose, and walk out, and just be like, and that's that's all you need to be a face, is just like walk out there and be like, I want to be on SmackDown. It's like, holy shit. So now like, if Raw somehow pulls some weird shit, but which is odd now, too, because the only kayfabe management on Raw is Kurt Angle, who's a face. Who just came back as a face too, as like, you know, so that doesn't make sense if they like grab him, unless Steph comes back for a week. But Vince, when he was talking, seemed like she would be out for a while. So I don't know. It still feels like SmackDown might lose AJ somehow, but I really don't want to. Like,
but like they have to do some big name.
But there needs to be some big
point?
thing. Well, can you guys take Orton? Can Raw take?
That is not big. That is not big.
What do you mean? He's a 13-time world champion.
Man, we're gonna get on there in a second because I got my theories. I got my theories.
13-time world champion. How many people have more?
Okay, first of all,
like 4.
I know they did not say that, but they are not moving champions because
I tell you, boy, that would be weird.
They're not moving champions because unless they are the only. You know what? I actually want them to move.
Bailey?
No. The Usos.
Oh, the Usos. Oh, yes. No, I like that, but they're great on Talking Smack.
They're great on Talking Smack. They don't have a fucking division. And
that's true.
And taking one tag team and swapping it out is not going to give them a division. Raw has one. SmackDown don't have enough time for us.
It really doesn't.
Division.
Really doesn't.
And if WWE would realize that and at least put the tag teams on Raw. Like, that makes so much fucking sense. Now, see, that would be something big. Like, if somehow they got the Usos, and they were like, well, we have your champions. So you might as well just give us all your tag teams and let Raw have a tag team division. And then I'm like, well, what are we going to get out of it? We can send Kevin Owens over there. And the first program is, like, Kevin Owens, because they have too many belts. So if they combine the tag team belts and they combine the United States, they're not going to do this, but they should, combining United States and Intercontinental Championship. But they're not going to do this because the fucking Universal title isn't going to be on TV until like a month before SummerSlam. Which is like a problem. Because then Raw won't have, if they do what I say, Raw won't have any singles champion except for the women's champion on TV for an extended period of time.
Hey, I'm here for that.
but okay, what are we doing? We're just gonna have just having wrestles. They don't like.
I know that's the problem. They don't actually build characters
Right, like if SmackDown didn't have any men's single titles, SmackDown would be fine.
Yeah,
because they actually have stories and other reasons for people to fight. All Raw has is the titles and fucking the Authority, who's been taken off TV again. As if Seth Rollins won something, but he didn't. They're gonna do the same shit that they did to Roman last year. Pull Triple H off TV for a little while and make it look like, oh, they got a visual victory. And then they're gonna spring up out of nowhere for no fucking reason and ruin my goddamn enjoyment of the overall program. Yeah. It's like, so that's the only thing I really want. I was thinking about it because I'm like, this is for me, my entertainment. I really don't care how this benefits WWE. I want Roman Reigns and the Usos, like,
together. Yeah,
on TV. Because like, I think that would be fun. But the Usos are heels, and even like that's, to me, that's something. Like, even if you're not planning on turning him face, you have him around his cousins who are heels, and there can be some stories and conflicts to come out of that. I just, they have a 6-man tag and the Usos cheat, and Roman's like, that's wrong. And they're like, shit, Us, fuck that shit, Us. We gotta get ours, man. and Roman like, why are y'all so hyper? What have you been doing?
I told you guys to wait until after the show.
Like, every single time. God damn.
Can you guys really, do I need to be monitoring your bathroom visits at this point?
Oh, God.
Do I need to take your credit cards away from you? Do I need to take your mirrors away from you?
It's like, okay, you're on probation. You're on probation.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's just me being selfish. But otherwise, I don't care. I'm gonna tell you if people are scared, but this is my full belief. I know what you say about the fans, and yeah, that's gonna happen. But I don't think Vince would consider putting Roman Reigns on his face brand unless, he was actually going to give the fans what they want with Roman. Like, I don't think he wants to, like, he went through so much trouble to get SmackDown over as the face brand. You know what I mean? It's deliberate.
Yeah, but like, how much of
So
that was like the creative team saying we should do this, and how much of that was like his direct input? So like, maybe, I'm telling you, I always get worried about SmackDown around dual brand pay-per-views. Like, shit just it goes haywire,
But the narrative still never changes that SmackDown is
the land of opportunity
and the face show.
Yeah.
And I just I honestly do not see them messing with that narrative. I think Vince is just as married to that narrative as he's married to Roman Reigns is my top guy for the next 10 years narrative. I think he's married to both equally. And I don't think he's going to touch that. I think he's going to keep Roman on Raw. So, like, seriously, people, don't worry about that. He's not going anywhere. He's also not turning heel, but.
But then I also don't want Seth. I don't want Seth.
Just give
me Sammy. Just give me Sammy.
Okay, you might not get either.
Oh, please.
But, like,
please.
Because they feel like they just brought up Nakamura.
Yeah.
And based on his reception, that's a good swap for AJ. We've already got our AJ swap here.
But don't take AJ away, though.
But, man, now that's the rumor I believe more than anything. All his merchandise used to be blue, blue, blue. His new shirt is red.
Yeah. Untouchable. Yeah.
His new shirt is red. I was like, why is your shirt red?
I just hope they do it in a way that doesn't make people feel shitty about SmackDown.
I don't think they will. Because
like there's a fine line to cross between
Shane has no reason to give up AJ. Sure. So I think now, because they've made up in the handshake, so I think it's gonna be, and Kurt Angle's not really being a heel. Yeah. Like, fuck, if I get a first pick at SmackDown's roster.
Oh yeah, who are you gonna take?
I'm taking AJ. Like, who the fuck wouldn't take AJ Styles? That's you're stupid if you have a chance to have AJ Styles in your brain and you don't get him. So, like, yeah, I know. I told you, we're not gonna like these picks. I really don't think so. But I think some of them are gonna work.
Hey, I'm here for my birthday twin. I'm here for her. I'm here for her. Even though she has not responded to my birthday wish. I'm very upset about this.
Come on, Shar.
Come on, Shar.
Come on.
Birthday twin, you should be repping that. No, I'm worried with like bringing AJ over to Raw that they'll do it in a way, because they will want to do it in a way to further SmackDown as like the face brand and being like put upon by like corporate WWE or whatever, or which is the image of Raw basically. But I'm worried that they'll do it in a way that will make people just think, oh, SmackDown doesn't matter, and like care less, rather than like get behind SmackDown as like carrying the shield for it,
I'm just saying they brought in their AJ Styles replacement.
I know.
And
they did, and they killed it. They nailed it.
People want everybody on fucking SmackDown and nobody on Raw. When Raw is they do. And I'm like, Raw is the 3-hour show. SmackDown is 2 hours. So you want
I'm not being greedy. I only want like 3 people.
Yes, you are. You want everybody on SmackDown.
No.
And half of them are going to be in a fucking locker room. Not being on TV. Like, I'm serious. They're not going to be on TV. Like, what is there left for the New Day to do? Fight these new
I
teams?
have no idea what. I have no idea.
They just brought two teams in for them to feud with. What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's what they do. Like, seriously. SmackDown has people that are every week in the locker room. People like, where's the tag team division? Well, I mean, but they're giving time to these other things that are getting over and working. So, like, you can't really say, well, you can really say, like, they could have pulled, like, the WWE Championship shit. They could have pulled all that from TV and did something with the Usos instead. Like, I wouldn't, like, if they hadn't had Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton on TV this week, I wouldn't have cared that much.
No, I would not have cared whatsoever.
And did you read my theory on that? You didn't catch the theory, my theory about the WWE Championship.
Oh, that they're lessening it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But because I went back and listened to our show earlier today from Monday.
Okay.
And we were talking about this match, and what I said was, like, I said that match kind of devalues the championship, in my opinion, and you agree with me. And I was like, holy shit. I was seeing it, but I didn't see the purpose. Mm-hmm. The purpose is to make the Universal Championship look better in comparison. So, like, it feels more important than the WWE Championship because, like, they're doing like, after WrestleMania, what the Universal Championship has Brock Lesnar holding it with Braun Strowman coming out, and then the champion calling out the guy who just retired, The Undertaker. Like, that seems like pretty big, important people around it. And over on SmackDown, we're having a fucking spooky House of Horrors match for the championship.
Christ.
Now, which one looks more important? It's certainly not the one, like, you know,
with a bad off-brand like, Dungeon of Doom, like,
right?
Yeah,
I swear somebody has been chopping it up with Kevin Sullivan about this shit, just chopping it up.
We will definitely know that's the case if all of a sudden they start talking about monster trucks and, you know, oh boy,
Lord Jesus, I swear, like, if that could just go from my TV without any explanation. I know there are some people like, well, I want to see how this ends. You want to know how this ends with Bray Wyatt looking like crap, like all his
even more of a chump than he looks like it now. Yeah.
His character, like I know we've said this before, and they were able to do it, but his character is so dead right now. It's so fucking dead.
Yeah,
it's so dead, dude. He's gonna have to get repackaged. He's gonna have to get another gimmick. Like, seriously, dude, how do you come back from this? And, like, things and stuff mention it. Like, he was barely on TV as champion, so it almost feels like that never happened. Yeah. They really fucked Bray, and they fucked Luke Harper. And then they had Luke Harper. Like, I'm sorry, I don't buy this. Like, it used to be back in the day in wrestling, like, if two guys had a beef and then one guy turned, so now these two guys who once had a beef, they're the same alignment. That did not automatically make them friends. There would have to be some clearly defined reason for why these people are tagging and helping each other. Yeah. Now they don't do that. They did it 2 days back to back. They did it with Steph and Finn, and they did it with Randy and Luke. And, like, stop fucking. It's the laziest fucking storytelling in the motherfucking world. And it's just, God, who the fuck booked this crap? Like, there is actually a Triple H GIF out there of him holding a sign like, who booked this crap? And, like, sometimes that GIF just plays in my head over and over. Who the fuck? Who? Why? Like, I know it works. It sells tickets and all that shit, but it's not very entertaining to me. It's like, especially as someone who writes stories, and like, no, give me a reason why these people who hate each other are now. I don't know. Let's talk to women. Let's talk about women.
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's go to this, and why KCIC hates Becky Lynch.
Oh boy.
This they take Naomi and push her for 2 months, and we just forget all about Becky Lynch. She's terrible. She's trash. We just hate her. Boy, I don't know what. Like, I kind of feel like, you're just gonna Becky Lynch fans. You're just gonna have to like just have a little patience, and maybe she'll get pushed next. I don't know what's.
Maybe she will take some investment into her ring work and get interesting in the ring, and then people will get invested in her matches and pop a little bit more, and then people will want to see more of her rather than just when she's in contract signings.
Yeah,
because like it is night and day when Naomi's pulling out these Benadryllers or whatever, which is the fireman's carry into the roundhouse kick, like basically the GTS version, but with like a roundhouse kick instead of the knee.
Yeah, they call it a glow to sleep.
Yeah, glow to sleep that's a great name, by the way. That's really good. It's really good. Yeah, and like just springboard enziguris and running Hurricane Ranas, running Frankensteiners, all this crazy shit. And it's just like, wow, this is like exciting to watch. Like there's spots for the women's division, like we saw it like last summer, last fall with Sasha and Charlotte doing spots, and people went crazy for them. Doing meteoras off off the aprons and corkscrew moonsaults and moonsaults off the announce tables and shit like that. And Naomi, she does those kind of like crazy spots like that, and Becky doesn't have any spots whatsoever. And what's even worse, like not only does she not have like crazy spots like that, but she doesn't have any like real power sequences. She's got like 2 basic clotheslines and terrible looking leg lariat, a weak forearm, a very Dean Ambrose-esque weak forearm in the corner. It's just not interesting or entertaining in the least bit. And this has been the case for over a year now. And at a certain point, it's like, yeah, the agents should figure out that this is not working, but she should also figure out it's not working and go to them and be like, I have some ideas or whatever. Because Naomi's game has totally evolved since the brand split. And even since like she came back from the first injury, a couple of months ago or whatever, like 3 months ago or so, when she first came back, and then Alexa came out and talked shit to her. Like her offense has totally changed since then. Like you can tell she's been watching a ton of tape or getting tons of advice from people and doing and trying a whole bunch of new shit and working on it till it's effective and it's getting over in a big way. And Becky has not done that whatsoever. So at a certain point, like that's on you as a performer for not recognizing that shit is not going right and not fixing it,
And you know what? And I honestly think because, like, the girls knew about Nikki before we all knew. Yeah. So I think what Naomi was doing was trying to make sure that she was on point.
She would be so
she could be the number 2 face behind Becky. I think that's what she was preparing herself for. But, like, shit, she was getting more over than Becky. So, they're like, fuck it, they're gonna
Fuck it.
and
Yeah.
like right. There's actually no chosen one for this spot.
Yeah.
No one's been pre-selected for this spot.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
in this spot, who's ever the most over is going to get the title.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is all merit. Like the SmackDown division is weirdly for for a wrestling company, which isn't a work entirely. It's somehow all merit for the championship,
Like they're honestly trying. The people who are familiar with the original SmackDown 6, they were actually trying to make the SmackDown Women's Division the new SmackDown 6.
Yeah.
And with Becky right out in front
as the leader, yeah.
And she wasn't leading them.
Yep.
So like, if Naomi's gonna be a part of the SmackDown 6 that's leading them, then so be it. Like, and to go back to your point on spots and things like that, I was glad that you also mentioned like power moves, because like Nikki Bella in the match that she had with Natty,
yeah,
she did one high spot, but that match was basically a brawling match with
yep,
power moves. So even like somebody who's been around forever, like Natalya, is going out there and stepping her game up. And how many times? That's another thing. But people keep focusing on Naomi. But fuck, I would say if you're gonna give another heel on that show a championship run, fuck it. You might as well give it to Natalya to see, because she in her position. Like, Natalya was dead. Nobody gave a fuck about Natalya.
Mm-hmm.
And she took this little kooky character that they gave her, and she fucking ran with it, and her shit started getting over. And it because she was putting in the work, and she realized, oh, they're giving me an opportunity to be one of the SmackDown 6. And she ran with it, and so did Alexa. Like, Alexa's limited.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it just seems like everybody they slotted to be one of the 6. Nikki Bella picked it up, and like shit, Maurice is kind of sipping into that SmackDown 6.
Mm-hmm.
More so than Becky has. And she hasn't been getting a lot of promos lately. It's like, I don't know if like what like the chicken or the egg situation. Like, did they start noticing that she really like wasn't performing as well as the others, so they pulled her involvement back? Or did they start pulling her back and then her performances got worse? Like, I don't know which,
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
there's no hate.
It's just there's no hate whatsoever. It's very bizarre. Yeah, it's very bizarre to be like, excuse me, to have people saying like, "Oh, you're hating," when like literally back in December, like in the middle of the Alexa feud, I was like Becky Lynch on her game is like the best women's wrestler on the planet. When she was like in the middle of the La Luchadora stuff, right after she had that match, like, what does it say that her best match since the brand split has been her in a mask playing a gimmick, like doing something totally different than what she usually does? Like, that's kind of, we got a Becky Stan being upset about us in our thread. I don't know. It's just very frustrating because we expect more from her, and she has not provided it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, just have some patience, because like things rotate, and I just don't feel like things are so stilted in the SmackDown Women's Division like they are in the Raw Women's Division. I think there's more, like, there's a possibility for more women to
advancement,
get time and shine and all of that. And just right now, it's not Becky's time, but very soon it will be. I really do believe that. So just like have patience, because I've been a Naomi fan since 2013, and it's now finally 4 years later where I'm finally getting to see my favorite have this spot, which, like, I was totally fine with Naomi being the person that you beat on the way to facing the champion. I was totally fine with that being like the highest she ever got. And like I'm so shocked she's this over, and that's why like I wanted to bring up Natalya, because everybody's focusing on so much on Naomi, but there are other women that also have been performing, I think, better than Becky recently. But it's just constructive criticism. It's not hate. I swear to God, it's not hate. Over on Raw, my girl is back. Oh my God. I was like, that's when I was like, I didn't even care like how the crowd was. When I saw Emma in the flesh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
On the announce table.
As soon as I saw her, I tweeted, "Marry me." Emma. Oh my God. I'm so happy she's back. And she's back in the role I fell in love with. The All About Me. And hopefully maybe they'll like invest in her and give her time, to get the character over. Like I always thought it was the stupidest fucking idea, just because she's hot,
and
to take her out of
pictures on her Instagram.
Yeah, to change her gimmick. I thought that was the stupidest fucking reason. Like
so dumb.
She's a hot badass. That's what she is already. Don't touch it.
The whole thing, it's very strange because like literally everybody in the division is hot. Like, I mean,
yeah, yeah, that's true.
So like
that is, yeah,
why, right? Like when you think about it, they're all very attractive. So
yes,
why are you trying to? I don't know. It's very, very silly. And it's very frustrating too, because Raw could have used another like worker in the fall.
Well, she was cleared in October,
and she was cleared forever. Like they could have used her so badly, and they just it's very frustrating.
Do you know how dope that match could have been on Sunday if Emma was in it instead of Nia fucking Jax? Just imagine Emma in that match. Just imagine it. She was cleared in October.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. These and let Emma actually get over, and they give her that championship. It's gonna be the same. I'm gonna be crying just like with Naomi. Yes, because Emma has always been the girl who puts the other girl over. Seen her at a rival. She's been the girl to put the other girl over and be better than the girl she's putting over in the fucking match. Yep, except for Asuka. That's probably the only person I've seen her put over. I didn't think she was better than personally. But yeah, we're gonna talk about NXT a little bit too, because I watched Takeover and I got some opinions, man.
So look out.
So, like, is there anything else from main roster you want to talk about? We mentioned Shinsuke getting called up.
Yeah, that was great.
Awesome.
Just to wrap up the Raw women's division, I'll tell you what, I am legitimately already feeling conflicted because Emma was kind of calling out Bayley during that tag match, right? Like she was kind of calling out there. So they might do a program, which means the other top face would do a program with this incoming other top heel. And I will feel very conflicted about this program. I tell you what, I don't know. I'm gonna have some weird feelings about it.
It's gonna be the most vicious
fight. There's gonna be
between two tiny women.
Two tiny, like 5'3" and 4'11". Not even 5'3". Sasha's like 5'2". Let's be real.
5 foot nothing.
And 4'11". A total of like 220 pounds or some shit. But yeah, I don't know. That should be a great feud, but I'm worried about it because I don't want. I don't, because I'm gonna be rooting for both. It's so conflicting. It's very, very troubling. It's very troubling,
Hey,
Tanya.
or maybe it could be like when AJ Styles and Roman Reigns face each other, and I was just like in heaven every fucking week that it was happening.
But I feel like I won't have that. I feel like I will lean pro Sasha, but feel guilty about it. It's just, there's gonna be some weird feelings going on inside of me.
Well, yeah, I can understand because I was kind of pro AJ that feud.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like the club, I was like,
oh God, I forgot about it. They were all together.
Yeah, they were also there. I kind of wanted AJ to win the title at the Royal Rumble though. When he first debuted. Like I would not have cared. Like, and in hindsight, Vince would have been a way better main event last year. Just saying.
Would have been.
Like the main event this year, that couldn't have been. Undertaker's about to go get a whole new heel.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should have went with AJ. So. You ready to talk about Takeover?
Yeah, let's talk about NXT.
Okay. I don't watch NXT a lot anymore. So I have a question for you, Andrew, because you watch it and follow it a little bit more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
When exactly did it become a heel territory?
It's been
every match was won by a heel. Every single one.
Well, Aleister Black was a face in that match.
That man wants to eat and take everybody's soul. That is not a face. You cannot tell me.
But as a debutante as an indie debutante in NXT, that's a face. For that match, at least, that's a face.
Beelzebub's right hand man is not a face. Oh, I'm sorry.
Beelzebub, my God. It's been like that for quite some time. Let's see. Last takeover, what was San Antonio? Rude won the title.
Right.
Authors of Pain won the tag titles.
Gross.
Asuka won the Fatal 4-Way. Against she was a face against 3 other heels. Mm-hmm. Dillinger lost to Eric Young.
Gross.
And there was some other match. There's one more match. I can't remember. But yeah, so this has been going on.
Almas had a match. Didn't Almas have a match?
Did he have a match? Did he have a match? In January?
Roddy Strong. Didn't he? Isn't that when they matched?
Oh, yeah. Roddy won that, didn't he?
Yeah, he won.
So Roddy was, again, the only
kick-ass match. Yeah.
I guess Asuka was a face. So yeah. So, again.
Asuka and Roddy, yeah.
But yeah, NXT, for some reason, ever since TakeOver Dallas, it's been kind of like a heel territory, which is weird
because it got over as a face.
As a face territory, yeah. Because people loved the baby faces and they were invested in their journeys, and even the heels were beloved in Sasha Banks was.
They still are though, aren't they?
Beloved, but in a different sort of way. It was less like a heartbeat sort of you've been with us. You're a heel, but you've been with us sort of thing. There's less that connection there, so it just feels less authentic. So when a heel wins, you feel worse about it than if a heel. If when Sasha Banks beats Becky at TakeOver Unstoppable, for example, that's the heel beating the face, but you're okay with it because it's still the heartbeat that you felt and seen for 2.5 years, you know?
Yeah.
Versus now they just don't have that connection with the crowd, you know, or the fan base. So it doesn't work whatsoever. I don't know. It's very odd. Sanity as a whole, is not over. like with the crowd as either
Yeah,
like
let's go over these matches.
as
Yeah,
either
because I watched all of it.
yeah, as either straight heels or like heels that the crowd is into, you know, that like
It was
recognize.
quiet. It was
Yeah.
quiet when they came out.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't get any noise. You
And
know,
then they put
authors
them
of
like
pain,
I
they
thought
don't know.
Chris Hero in that match with Sanity, right?
Yeah.
He was like he's like supposed to be like the next guy that's coming in and they're gonna make a big deal about him. It's like that's what it seems like. So I was wondering why they would put him on that team if they were gonna put that team to lose. Like I know he didn't take the pin, but still, you know.
Yeah.
Ty took the pin. Because he's getting caught up. So I just didn't understand why would they take No Way Jose out of the match just so
Hero could get on.
I gotta stop calling him Hero.
Yeah,
that's not
Cassius
his fucking name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to call him KO, but Cassius Ohno sounds fucking stupid. And whatever he was wrestling in before he came to NXT, can they like? I don't mind. I can see his stomach. He looks like a dork in that jersey with the jersey trunks. He looks like a dork. And I thought he was supposed to be
the untucked jersey is what he did wrestle in on the Indies.
Really?
Yeah, that's a shoot.
I've seen matches of him where he's just in trunks though.
That may have been back from his like old NXT days when he was much slimmer.
Okay, so where is he just trying to hide his?
I don't know.
Like, I just don't like it.
Yeah, that's. But like, I saw him twice last fall at an Evolve show and at a local show in North Virginia, and he was wearing jerseys, and you know, like trunks.
Okay, well, I just still don't understand. Like, they have all your champions, and then they're building up this super strong heel group. But like, all the matches were good. It was just like the decisions kind of like I really thought like Ono's team was going to win,
mm-hmm.
And then like Sanity won, and I was like, okay. So maybe it's a to be continued on that. And then of course Alistair, which he was great, but he's scary. Like he does, he has his presence. Like it had nothing to do with him like rising up like Dracula. Or maybe a little bit. But like the way he carried himself and just no. He was demanding through the television screen that I just hand over my soul.
Yeah.
Hand over my soul to him. Actually, no. No, sir, that's very rude. I want my soul. It's mine. You already have one. And if you don't, it's not my fault. I'm keeping mine.
Mm.
But yeah, he seems like an interesting fellow. There's a rumor he's getting called up.
Yeah.
Why? That would be like an Apollo Crews situation again, though, right?
I mean, here's the thing. At least Almas can work, unlike Apollo Crews.
Yeah, that's true. I like Almas in the ring.
And Almas does have good like heel charisma. And Apollo Crews has zero charisma.
No charisma. Yeah.
Whatsoever.
No.
So you can do stuff with Almas. Like I can see him like working on the main roster. Like being a guy who sort of skips NXT. Well, I mean, he hasn't skipped NXT, but like not like made a big impression there, but still, you know, finds a good spot on the main roster. I don't know, but you know, it would seem kind of weird for him to, go up because it kind of felt like for a while that they were grooming him for a for a bigger spot, but I don't know. That does not seem to be the case.
Yeah, he just seems to be like coasting. So I guess if they do need somebody else up on the main roster, it might as well be him. Like he's TV ready. That he just doesn't like have a gimmick that you can latch onto. So Like, if I know he has one that he was working with that other people have said is pretty good. So, like, if he goes to the main roster, at least he can possibly, I don't know, like, pitch that or fall back on that. Where, like, from all intents and purposes, this is Apollo Crews on the indies. You know what I'm saying? What we're seeing now is like he was just some dude who wrestled and he didn't really have any personality or gimmick or had to show any of that or whatever. He was just like a worker guy that did flips and cool stuff, and that worked on the indies, but like almost had a character, you know. So maybe he'll be better off, you know, hopefully. I can see them trying to put him in an Alberto Del Rio role, most definitely, but they would have to give him a manager.
Yeah, someone to speak for him.
Yeah. Let's talk about that tag team match.
Woo! That was something else.
Which
I
was,
need to rewatch that at some point because that was just
that
was an experience. That was an experience, like capital experience. You know.
Yes. Very good match between DIY, the Revival, and the champions Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. I've never liked the Authors of Pain, so booking them like two Brock Lesnar's, like, yeah, that's gonna get heat with me and obviously with the crowd because it worked. Like, I'm not like, I can't like say that there is value in the heat Roman has and then like poo-poo the Authors of Pain heat, because they got some heat after Saturday. They got some heat because of that was fucking ridiculous. And like, the more I thought about it, I'm not so mad that I'm not interested, because that was kind of interesting to me, like who could beat these guys, because that pissed me off, but not in a point of like I'm gonna turn this off because this is so ridiculous. It pissed me off in like, how the fuck can you stop these motherfuckers? Stay down, stay the fuck down. You know, the only thing though is like I feel like the only two teams, like one team that I would be interested in seeing beat them is on Raw now. And DIYs, they can't be down there that much longer, right?
I hope not. Because they're so ready. They're so ready.
Yes, they are. So that's the thing. I don't have, like, you're putting out everywhere else on the show, you're putting over heels too. And you have these big monster heels who they're undefeated. Another, monster undefeated act. Who are champions. This is your second one. So that was my only complaint. But god damn, that match was awesome. Like,
it was so much fun. All those dual tandem spots, like with DIY and Revival, is just like, whew.
And like the Authors of Pain, like I know they're still green, but to like be in a match like that and not fuck up, because like some people, like if you want to say, well, anybody can get carried to something, I suggest you go watch a Dana Brooke match. Just go watch it. Anybody can get carried to a wrestling match. I wish people would stop saying it. Everybody can't be carried. So props to Authors of Pain for that. Like those guys are gonna be good. They're gonna, but yeah, I just don't. There's nobody that I want to see beat them. Like I want to see them beaten, but there's nobody that I want to see beat them. If that makes sense.
Do you not like Heavy Machinery? Are they not your guys?
Like I said, I only watch takeovers, and they've not been on one yet.
That's true.
So
they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun.
Okay.
But it would be kind of weird to see like 4 dudes of that size like going off against each other. I don't know.
Hey, Land of the Beef.
Land of the Beef.
I'm down with it. I am always like, that's one of the things, like And I'll get into more as we get finished talking about that. But like one of the things I've always liked about WWE is like these really big fucking guys beating the shit out of each other. Seriously, like I don't ever understand like the obsession with these small little flippy dudes. Yeah, that's cute. Now go to Circus Soleil where you belong, and let me see, and let me see these real men fight each other. I've always like I can appreciate like WCW made me appreciate cruiserweights, and Sean Waltman is one of my favorite of all time. But if I'm being honest, bigger is better. That's just how I feel. Yeah. Except for in Asuka's case, it is not better. She is the best. She is the sun.
Yeah, she's special.
Oh my god.
When she
if she could speak English, she would like so much money.
If only, right?
Oh my god, that's the only flaw. She's so good.
I did enjoy like after that match, or like even during the middle of the match in the thread, and you were just like, holy shit, Ember Moon is fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
Like, she is badass.
Let me tell you, I could not possibly have cared at all about Ember Moon. And then the match, then the bell rung to start the match. And I was like, oh my god, who the fuck is this woman? Like,
right?
I've been taking the piss out of her gimmick. Ever since she came, I've been making fun of her. I was making fun of her before the match. And then I was like, oh my god, she's awesome. She's so awesome. Like, if they do not, like, she's so awesome. They're like, fucking a rematch or whatever. Just put her on the main roster. She's ready. She can talk. They just need to like, whatever the fuck that gimmick is, forget it. Throw it away and just let her be herself. She can keep the contacts. She likes wearing contacts because it's fucking cool. Like, she's great. She's awesome. Like, and this is not like when I watched Asuka with Dana Brooke, I knew what that was. Like, Asuka's a goddamn professional. That's what that was.
Seriously.
But that match was a good match. Asuka and Emma was a fire ass match. I actually liked that match better than the Bayley Nia Jax match from the same show.
I don't think you're wrong at all.
Yeah, and so when Asuka gets in there, Asuka really hasn't been getting in there with people on her level like that since Bayley. Really? I don't think so. But damn, Ember Moon, she was great in her. She has so much fire and passion when she wrestles, and like somebody was pointing out a botch of hers, and I was like, dude, shut up.
Can't be a 5-star match with 6 botches.
6 botches, gotta mark it down. God.
I guess we have to like take up that gimmick now that Cage Side Live is dead.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you know, I don't mind doing that shit. I'll do it all day. My smart voice is a little bit. My smart voice is like, 6 botches, gotta mark it down.
Interesting.
I'm gonna boo Roman Reigns, but cheer the person that books him.
I don't think I have a smart voice yet. I need to work on it.
Yeah, you do. You gotta step your smart voice game up.
I need to get my shit going on.
You have to. And like, I'm kind of stalling. Like, we pretty much talked about everything we need to talk about. Although Asuka, like, she's so cute and adorable, dancing after her match. Like, and like, I know people would be so quick to be like, Asuka clearly cheated at the end of that match, right? She clearly pushed the referee, right?
Yep.
And it's like, why did the referee DQ her? First of all, she's Asuka.
You don't want to DQ her.
Would you disqualify Asuka?
Hell no.
Unless you absolutely had to. But, and also, I think it was, and the referee I think he played it well. He was shocked. Who the
Yeah.
fuck expects Asuka to cheat? She's been mowing over people. You don't expect her to cheat. So when she did that and she got the advantage and then she got him down, the referee was like, fuck, I'm going to have to count this pin because it's Asuka.
Yeah.
So, and then after the match, she's just like dancing. She looks so cute. I was like, oh my God. I love everything. Like, if the week to week was this, had been stuff like this, in this vein, like badass chicks kicking each other's asses and not whatever the fuck it is with the icons and Liv Morgan that I saw, I would keep watching it. Now, I know you like the icons,
You
but
you just started talking shit about my girls right there.
Yeah, I am. And let me tell you, because I think they're awesome. I do. I think they're very talented, and I love their act. Here's my problem. It's the same fucking act with just two different women. And they find two women to give the mean girls shit to.
Yeah.
And I'm so fucking sick and tired of men, because let's face it, men write for the WWE.
All the writers are men. Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of men thinking that's the only way women are evil is being catty and talking about people's looks. That, like, Triple H can be the most evil mastermind in the world, but when two women get together, all they give a fuck about is how the announcers' hair and their clothes and shit.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about the championship, I guess. That's second nature, but you look gross. Just like, I mean, that's funny, but I've seen it so many times. I'm sick of it. That's why Asuka's so fucking refreshing, because she's just a fucking badass.
She's just killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight killer.
And she's gorgy, and she's always on point. Like what she was wearing, she was standing. I think Ember Moon was down selling, and she was just standing there. I think doing a taunt or something. I was like, holy shit, Asuka's ring gear is amazing. Like, she got it going on. If only she could speak English, God. Yeah,
If only.
Yeah, so I guess we can talk about the main event now.
Oh. What was the main event? I already forgot.
Excuse me. Bobby Roode versus Nakamura.
Oh, I started looking at Charlotte's Twitter. I'm sorry.
Right? Anything other than this.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode retained. That's it.
Yeah, that match happened. I actually didn't watch. Like, I listened to that. I basically listened to that match on the radio. Like, I had it up in another tab, or I guess I had projected it on my TV, but I was just looking at Twitter. I didn't look at the match whatsoever. And then it was the end, and I was just like, all right, okay, that happened. I don't really care,
Yeah, the men's. I've never really cared about the men's division that much.
I haven't cared about the men's main event scene since Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Like that was a long time ago.
A very long time ago. So, yeah, I don't even see who there could possibly, besides Ono, who there could possibly be building up for
a championship match. Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, because they're doing a takeover at the end of May, right? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
In Chicago?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Which also, okay, let's talk about this.
Oh.
Triple H, CM Punk is living rent free in Triple H's head. Like, when I heard that takeover was in Chicago, I'm like, if this, it would mean nothing if this man hadn't been trolling CM Punk for the last few months for God knows what reason. I follow Punk on Twitter. He barely even tweets. He's just happy his wife has a book out, and watching whatever sports he fucking watches. And Triple H is dedicating vignettes and is teasing the Pepsi plunge at WrestleMania. How fucking petty! Like seriously, if that man did not like was not great at like assembling talent and shit like that, like fuck, I would like want him removed from the fucking company because otherwise he would be a fucking cancer. Like seriously, a lot of people I know, a lot of users on CSS, he thought it was just the funniest shit last year when he was like doing everything he could to not put Roman Reigns over. Like, oh well, he sees it's a lost cause. That's not his fucking call. He doesn't run the company yet. And if you're a veteran, like Stone Cold said, and your job is to go out there and get this young guy and put him over, put him the fuck over. And when I say that, that doesn't mean go out there and lose the match, but do everything you can to look cool in the meantime. It's the second year in a row he's did this shit. It's ridiculous. Now, I'm like his entrance. I'm gonna give it to him. That entrance, goddamn, and it would not have worked if Stephanie was not riding dirty on the back of that fucking bike. Like I was like, God damn.
It's all stuff.
Oh my God, Stephanie. Jesus, why are you with this work? Like he with the worst ego in the history of like Seth Rollins was supposed to be his boy, right? That's one of his NXT sons, right? He's gonna do all he can to put Seth Rollins over, right? Wrong. I'm gonna have the same boring ass match I always do at WrestleMania. And then I'm gonna ask my wife for the second time in a row to take a big bump right before the finish. So it seems like the match was over in highlights. I'm gonna chew up so much time at WrestleMania that the women I purportedly care about get their time cut.
Yeah, seriously. Nearly get their match cut, for fuck's sake.
But smarks are mad that Roman Reigns be the old fucking guy who had no business wrestling in the first place. Like we really, sometimes people gotta get their shit in order. If you call yourself a smart, there is the definition of that word. Because I am one of the OG smarks. I was around when it happened, when these discussions happened, and I'm gonna get back to the point that I was about to make earlier. Tie it all together. As a younger smart, at first this was an insult to a lot of people, and we had to adopt it because wrestlers didn't like that we were smart. They hated that shit. They hated that we knew what the fuck the word kayfabe was. The interview that Roman Reigns gave to Talk is Jericho, and he is just saying babyface and this and that. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, at the height of his success, would have never given an interview saying babyface and heel and kayfabe and all like those words. Like so, the landscape, like the smarts, we really have changed the business because of how much we fucking know. We have, and a lot of and I think Triple H and people like Road Dogg, all of them, they know this, they live through this. There were kind of like three kinds of smarts back then. Really. You were either mostly pro WWF, pro WCW, and pro ECW. I was pro WWF, but I watched everything. But I always preferred WWF, and there were, people get in arguments about, spot matches versus work rate matches versus like booking for stories. These are the same arguments we made for pro WWE, which is booking for stories, work rate matches, which is like WCW type shit, or spot matches, which was like the ECW thing. And these are the same mentalities that have existed for like 20 years in the smart world. And how it is manifest today is that you have a certain segment of fans, these ECW fans and their children, most likely, who they've passed on their wrestling disabilities to. These are the people who will not stop booing Roman Reigns and who are bringing beach balls to play with and who are random chanting matches from people they're supposed to like. That's the ECW, that's the old ECW fans. The people who are so into the cruiserweights, we all know those are former WCW fans. Those are the only people that are crying. And most, by the way, the majority of WCW fans, they no longer watch wrestling because WCW lost, so they stopped watching wrestling.
I mean, I stopped watching wrestling for like 15 years, and I was a WCW guy.
Right, and some of them reluctantly came over, but they still hate the WWE now style. And you know what? The ones that came over and hate the WWE style and never grew to like it, but hey, my WCW guys are here. Those are also some of the fans who will not stop booing Roman Reigns and who will not stop random chanting matches. And then you have people like me, smarts like me, who are pro WWF. And we're the people buying Roman Reigns merchandise and John Cena merchandise and New Day merchandise, and who really wanted John Cena to propose, and who don't fucking mind matches like Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
Right. And who always want part-times to come back, no matter how broken down. And who loves the Attitude Era. And guess what? Half of those people, they're in the crowd and they're booing Roman Reigns because everybody else is.
It's a cool thing to do.
I'm telling you, there is a part, and they're like, it's fun. Everybody else is having fun. He doesn't care. Boo. Fuck you. Oh, he saw me point the mama side at him. Yeah. You know? So, and you see it. For some reason, the ECW, WCW fans are going to Raw, and the WWE fans are going to SmackDown. But, like, the ECW fans might as well, like, I don't know what they're going to do because, like, that's never coming back. Like, people,
yeah,
I like...
Those days are over.
If ECW was in operation today, do you know, like, Paul Heyman would probably get charged with so many motherfucking felonies. Like, do you know how illegal some of the shit he was doing was? Like, seriously. I don't know, but that's the landscape of what it is to be in the smart. And I've been around it so long. Like, even when I was like a part-timer, I would never come back to the internet and discuss it because I had got so disgusted. And this was like, I stopped being a smart, like, ooh, long before I stopped watching wrestling. I got off the internet in like 2002 because I couldn't fucking take it anymore because ex-WCW fans were complaining about WWE. I'm like, why the fuck are you watching it? And they're like, it's because this miserable company put our company out of business. And I'm like, no, your miserable company put your company out of business. Were you not? Were you like the fact that you stuck it out and you were still watching WCW that last year? Bravo, because I couldn't stomach that shit.
Seriously, that's impressive.
They like, I was starting to like WCW. I came because of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. That's the only reason I started watching. But like, they chased me away. Yeah. So I think when it started, because I'll hear old shoot interviews from like guys, and they would talk about how, like, Stone Cold, for instance, he would talk about like when he was a heel and they would start to notice on their house show loops, he would go to certain places and he's the worst guy ever. And he would go to other places and they're treating him like a god amongst men.
Yeah.
So like this is the, and so for people to say, oh, it's nice to have a baby face that's universally loved. Nobody's universally loved. It would be nice if the baby face was mostly cheered. That would be lovely. But like, there's always going to be some
sort of rejection on some level.
Yeah, because that's just how it is. There are people, like I was one of the people on the internet complaining that Stone Cold was pushed too much. That's when I didn't know better. I thought I was smart back then, but I really wasn't. I know better now. Like, I don't complain about people's pushes nearly as much as I complained about Stone Cold.
Back 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't like The Rock, but like I didn't mind him either. Like he would say some stuff that would make me roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Like I kind of found him entertaining. And with Stone Cold, I can completely admit it was mostly Bret Hart. That like even after Bret Hart left and went to WCW, I still hated Stone Cold. Like for years after that, like fuck yeah.
WWE died for me basically with the screw job for like 17 years.
And it's a lot of fans that harbor that resentment or have passed it on to, like, if their children watched it, they pass that shit on where they're like, the mentality is that this company is up to something, and they don't want to give me what I want.
Mindset, yeah,
right. And so, how do you change that other than Vince McMahon passing away?
You create in-house alternative products.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what they've done. And they've distinctly marketed them as alternative products, you know?
Yeah. But, like, if it's crazy because the roster is so talented. They have so many people.
It's the best roster that any wrestling company has ever had. Like,
it really is.
It's so deep, and there's so much variety. Like, it's insane, you know. And
really
and the amount of people they just like keep hiring, like they've got like 20 more women coming in, like top-notch indie talents. You know, they got the women's tournament coming this summer. What are they gonna do with all of them? Like,
they might be trying to look to have their own like hourly women's show on the network.
Even still, though, is that enough? Like, if
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Unless you start scrapping like the male mid card, basically. Which shit, I don't. If it means Dolph Ziggler never shows up on my TV again, okay. Yeah,
you know? The most, see, while everybody for this whole like women's evolution, people are really focusing on like the cosmetic parts of it, but the biggest impact is what you just said. All these women are actually getting employed,
getting hired,
and getting hired.
And people like Heidi Lovelace are now Ruby Riott, you know,
right?
Who are not.
That is not the WWE type of woman.
No, even from like 2 years ago.
No, yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that was not the hire that they would make. Yeah, so it's good. So hopefully they get more spots and get in a position to where they're making like the top 10 earners, like the top highest paid wrestlers. They're all men in the WWE. Yeah. All 10 of them are men.
Yeah.
So in the next few years, I'm gonna want to see that change because there's no fucking reason it shouldn't. There's none.
It's not like the women sell less merch as of now, but they still sell a decent amount. What the difference is that their base pay is so much lower.
Right. Right. And like when people start these superficial debates about women here and there, and I'm like, well, oh, they should be the main event, or they're on the pre-show, and I'm like, how much are they fucking getting paid?
Paid, yeah.
Like, I guarantee you, like, the women were on the main card. I guarantee, absolutely, Mojo Rawley, Luke Harper, Sami Zayn, I guarantee you they all make more than all the women that were on the main card. Dean Ambrose
was on the pre-show.
Dean Ambrose was on the pre-show. You want to know? He's on the top 10 list. He's like number 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
So, and he's on the pre-show. So while you're worried about who's on the pre-show, he's making way more money. He's making like he probably makes more money than all of the women in the Raw women's match combined. He probably does, because they make nothing. They make fucking nothing. Like, seriously. And as my emperor pointed out, they work just as hard and they take the same amount of risks. So, yeah, that's one thing I really want to see change. Like, some real change with the women as far as like contracts, being a draw, things like that. And I understand you can't, like, if you're always getting stuck on the pre-show, you can't be a draw. I get that. I do understand that. But sometimes don't get caught up in it, because the last SmackDown pay-per-view had 3 women's matches.
Yeah.
3 of them. So, just saying. Is there anything you want to add before we mosey on out?
Not really. What else? What has happened other than this week? I don't know.
I think we covered everything.
There's been a lot of shit going on, but I think we ran through most of it.
Yeah. I can't think of anything like major. Like
major.
We didn't talk about like
Catch-22 reference.
What?
Was that a Catch-22 reference?
What? No, I do not watch indie wrestling.
No, this is a book.
Oh, what? Oh,
Catch-22.
Catch-22. I thought you said Catch Point, because I heard
Yeah, major. No. Look at that, guys. Now you're getting literary references. How about this show? My God.
Right?
All kinds of shit. This is what happens when I've been drinking wine.
We're gonna have that shake up coming up Monday.
Oh my God!
Hopefully, I'm already like, WrestleMania was great, so like I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah, right. I'm
coming
at
in.
This point.
I'm not expecting it. I'm trying to keep myself just like even as possible, so I will not be disappointed with whatever happens. Because sometimes I'm good. Because WrestleMania, guess what? Because I'm not counting the ladder match, I only got 2 of my predictions wrong.
Mm.
I went for Baron Corbin, and who else did I go for? And I said that Braun Strowman would win the Andre. Everything else I got right. So sometimes I'm good at predicting events, but sometimes I'm way off.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna leave it alone. Hopefully, I'll enjoy it.
Did you actually hear my idea for SmackDown? The Charlotte idea?
Oh yeah, that it's in Boston.
It's in Boston, yeah.
So they play Sasha's music.
They should tease it being Sasha like the whole night, and then at the end, like play Sky's the Limit, and then Charlotte comes out and was like, "Oh, are you expecting?" Do like the HBK thing, like. You know, when back in Montreal or wherever, when he's like, "Oh, were you expecting, Bret Hart to show up when I played his music or whatever?" Like that, I feel like that would be a masterclass troll.
Yeah,
I really want to see that.
That would be nice. Yeah, they did that once with Paul Heyman
and CM Punk in Chicago. Yeah,
they like to do it. So who knows?
Yeah, it's not unprecedented.
It's a possibility.
It is not unprecedented.
Yep. So I guess we could just go on. Like the video, please, on YouTube, and subscribe, and follow me at Militia Malice Joe on Twitter, and follow Andrew at Andrew M. Swift. You can take us out, Andrew.
And y'all can go on this very special Wednesday. Go hug yourself.
Once again, happy birthday, Andrew. Bye-bye.
Bye.